Today on Time About the Movies, sadly the summer movie season has officially come to an end. You know that happens when you get the leftovers of films that the studios didn't believe in and to push it off to the last couple of weeks of August before in the early weeks of September. So that means all the movies are going to be terrible, right? Well, at least with the first one, not so much. Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Michael Shannon. Then we have Hit and Run with Bradley Cooper, Dax Shepard, and also Kristen Bell. And then The Apparition, which... yeah, that one's pretty bad. But, hey, August 24, 2012, this is Time About the Movies. Let's go. Welcome to Time About the Movies. Today we are taking a look at the three films that make up August 24, 2012, and we start off with Premium Rush. In this movie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays a bicycle messenger who's chased around New York City by a corrupt police officer played by Michael Shannon, because of course it's Michael Shannon, why wouldn't it be? And who wants the envelope that the messenger has and goes on this chaotic adventure to stop him and the bike, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's doing everything he can along with his girlfriend played by Dania Ramirez to try to avoid getting killed pretty much. And yeah, this is a movie that kind of came and went. Nobody really knew it was coming out. Nobody really knew anything about it. I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt wasn't really a big draw at that point in terms of name recognition, but he was an actor that most people did know. And, you know, I mean, I say name recognition as if he wasn't known. He was known, but I meant in terms of box office recognition. Like, he wasn't a big box office draw, and I know he was just coming off of The Dark Knight Rises and Inception, but, you know, he was somebody that really wasn't somebody you could guarantee a successful film with financially, but he's made a lot of really good movies overall, and this is definitely one of his more underrated movies. It's one that came out, didn't really do a whole lot of business. In fact, it didn't even make a whole lot of money, per se. It did kind of underperform. It brought in $31 million off of a $35 million budget, so yeah, it wasn't a big hit, but that's not to say the movie is bad. Far from it. This is actually a really good film. It's a film that does keep you on the edge of your seat, because you have Joseph Gordon-Levitt and, trying to survive this, this corrupt police officer and all these chaotic things he does here. And it does keep you on the edge of your seat. It makes bike riding more and more intimidating than it has any right to be. Plus, it helps that you have a script written as well as directed by David Coep, who has made a lot of good movies as both a writer, but also as a director, too. Remember, this is the guy that gave us Stir of Echoes. This is the guy that also did Ghost Town not too long ago. But, yeah, this was probably his last good film, because he followed this up with Mordecai, which, yeah, that was not a good movie. But this one definitely is a much better movie than I think a lot of people give it credit for. It's a movie that came and went, never really made much of a lasting impact, but it is actually a lot better than I think people made it out to be. I think it's a very good film, a very underrated film, and it shows Joseph Gordon-Levitt's potential as a leading actor that he would later use in other films going down the road, such as Looper, coming out the next month, and then the following year he would have his best overall film, which he also directed, Don John, which I think is a terrific film overall, but I'll get to that one in 2013. But, yeah, overall, Premium Rush, pretty good movie. One that's definitely worth checking out. So, there you go. We got one good movie out of this dumping ground period beginning, but, next movie, not so much. Let's take a look at Hit and Run.
Hit and Run.
Is it one of those white guys?
It's Filipino! Solve your dilemma? What part of the world my ass traveled to? Rated R.
Okay, I make this out to be kind of a bad movie. It actually isn't that bad. Actually, to be honest, it's probably a lot better than this trailer lets on here. I mean, in the movie, you've got Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard. Kristen Stewart, what the hell did that come from? Maybe I'm thinking of the other action comedy that came out not but a couple years later, American Ultra, which is actually a really good movie. But no, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell, who I think their relationship had already been together at this point, and it follows Shepard, who plays a guy who's been placed in the Federal Witness Protection Program, going on the run with his girlfriend to escape a mobster played by Bradley Cooper. You also have Kristen Chenoweth and Tom Arnold. Tom Arnold's actually in this movie, too, and he actually isn't that bad. The thing about this movie is that it really is not that bad of a movie. It actually does have a couple of decent, funny moments in it, more than I was expecting from this film in particular. Is it a great movie? No, not really. It's a film that kind of falls into predictable territory with a witness protection program element to it, but the film overall actually does offer a lot more than you could possibly imagine with it. There are a lot of really good funny moments in it. The comedy overall is pretty solid, and it does lead to a lot of really good, hilarious moments all throughout the course of the movie. And, for a film that, follows the tradition of never work with your spouse, of course, Dak Prescott and Kristen Bell are married at this point, these two do work off each other really well, and the film doesn't suffer because of it. I mean, it's a movie that works because everybody is game for it. Everybody really is giving it their all here. Plus, there's a really solid cast in here that works very well. I always love Kristen Chenoweth. Like I said, Tom Arnold actually isn't that bad in this movie. He actually does give a solid performance in here. You got Michael Rosenbaum, Joy Bryant, David Koechner, Beau Bridges, Sean Hayes, Jason Bateman. There are a lot of good elements to it. It's a film that actually was a whole lot better than I could have possibly imagined it was. Is it a great movie? No. If you've seen other action comedies like this, they've been done so much better. This one is solid and actually one of the big surprises I've seen in a long time. It's not a movie I would say, watch it and you'll think it's one of the great comedies of all time, but give it a shot. It's actually not that bad. It's actually a comedy that does kind of work overall. It's a really good film. Not even that. It's a good film. Not a really good film, but it's a good film for maybe a one-time watch or two, but definitely give it a shot. It's actually worth the watch. So okay, this weekend actually has a couple of decent things here, but yeah, let's get to the big piece of crap, and that is The Apparition. Sweetheart, you got hands. Use them. Bat those things away from you. I mean, literally, this is one of the stupidest horror movies I've ever seen in my life, because that's the threat in this movie. Just all these creepy hands coming up on you, and that's it. I mean, and by the way, that's the ending of the movie. So yeah, this movie Warner Bros. Did not give a shit whatsoever about trying to sell you on this movie, because they knew this idea was fucking terrible. So what you have here is that you follow 3 college students played by Ashley Greene, Tom Felton, and I think Sebastian Stan's the other one, after the death of their friend, who must battle a supernatural force that they summon themselves. So just don't summon them. I mean, that's pretty much all you need to do. But then again, it's typical white people in horror movies. We can't have logic in here, because if we did that, what else would we be doing with our lives? Something better than in this film. This movie is such a snooze fest, a bore of a movie. This is a film that has nothing of value to it whatsoever. There is no threat to this movie. There is nothing scary in this movie. There is nothing redeeming about this film. The entire movie is absolutely nothing but filler. The film literally ends with one of these characters going into an empty Costco, sitting in a tent, and just summoning this thing when, here's an idea, get the fuck out of the town and stop thinking about this thing. Like, nothing happens in this movie. Nothing happens in this film. You are wasting not even an hour and a half, but 80 minutes of your life are wasted watching this movie. Hell, you could watch one of my Time About the Movies Presents videos taking a look at specific months in a specific year, and you get more enjoyment out of it. That's how bad this movie is. If I'm recommending one of my own videos to you instead of watching this movie that has a $17 million budget to it, there clearly is a problem here. Seriously, where did $17 million go? Honestly, where did $17 million go? Who was the biggest star in this movie? What? Tom Felton? Malfoy? The chick from Twilight? The guy who's going to become Bucky, and who's Bucky from the MCU? Like, seriously, where did that money go? I mean, it's a small budget compared to other horror movies, but where did $17 million go for a film that's literally nothing? Nothing about this movie is scary whatsoever. Nothing about this movie is intimidating whatsoever. There is nothing of value to this film whatsoever except to waste your time, because the studio knew it was bad from the get-go. They put it out there hoping they would make a quick buck, and sure enough, no. It didn't do anything, because like this movie itself, there is nothing to do with this film. Nothing at all. This movie is a train wreck. This is a disaster. This is an ungodly, awful movie. One of the worst horror movies I have ever seen. And I talked about The Devil Inside earlier this year. This one might just be even worse than that. Devil Inside's bad, but this... Real money went into this movie. Someone actually thought this was a good idea that needed to be made, but no. This is considered threatening. Like, there. I solved your movie. So yeah. That's all I gotta say about The Apparition. I actually heard a little bit there. But, anyway, that's The Apparition. I don't think I need to tell you to avoid this one like the plague, because, come on. It's The Apparition, for God's sakes. And on that note, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies. Next time we meet, Labor Day weekend, and hey, look at this! More forgettable horror crap. Another exorcism movie, because why the hell not? The Possession. We have a star-studded cast, including Shia LaBeouf in Lawless. We have... one of the biggest what the hell were they thinking movies here. The infamously bad The Oogie Loves in The Big Balloon Adventure with Christopher Lloyd, Toni Braxton, and Chaz Palminteri, good lord, Chaz Palminteri as the milkshake shop owner with one of the greatest lines in movie history. Oh, my favorite. So yeah, we're going to have fun with that one there. But we also have some good movies. We have at least one good movie, and that is For a Good Time Call, which is a film with Seth Rogen's, I think it was his wife back at I think they were together at the time, but it's her and Ari Grainer. And actually probably will be the best overall movie. I'm trying to see if there was another film here, because I could have sworn was here. Am I not seeing it here? Screw it, I'm going to put it in here anyway. Kevin Durant trying to go from the NBA to the big screen with Thunderstruck. I know it's not on this list on Box Office Mojo, but I know that movie came out around August, so I'm going to throw that into the mix as well. So we got 5 movies to look at here, and at least one of them will be good. The others, not so much. But then again, it's the dumping ground season, so take that for what you will. But we will cover all those tomorrow on the show, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the last episode we did. And also stick around for a new Time About the Movies flashback coming up later tonight on here, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.